From BIO2020, Microbiology of Infectious Diseases. I wanted to go through Canvas with you and show you around a little bit because you're going to need this, and I'm sure most of you have used Canvas in other courses, but just want to show you what you can find on our Canvas site once it's launched a little bit later today. I'll be emailing this out to you guys and get you started that way. We'll be starting class tomorrow. So on the home page, and yours looks just slightly different than mine because I can edit and things like that, but otherwise it'll look pretty much the same. Home page just gives you a little bit of a welcome message. You can click on the syllabus and you can find a copy of the syllabus as a PDF. And then you can also see everything, all the assignments that have a point value associated with them, including their due dates with the exception of lab quizzes, which will just be happening every week in lab. So you can see when the exams are, when homework assignments are going to be due, etc. And you can see what time they're due over here on the right hand side as well. Now when you go to modules, you're going to see where we store a lot of our files. So this welcome video you found here under welcome videos, and there's also going to be a syllabus video there that I'd like you to go through before you come to class tomorrow. General course information has a document on honesty and integrity, and I'd like you to read through that before we come to class on Wednesday, and we're going to discuss it at the beginning and on and off through the semester because it's such an important topic. You do need to retain the chemistry that you learned in Chem 103 or Chem 152, and rather than having us take time to reteach you some of the fundamental chemistry, we want you to review your chemistry. One way to do that is to go through this module here that'll take you through one presentation after another. You can go to your textbook and look at chapter 2 and review from there. You can pull up your old chemistry notes if you kept those and review some fundamentals of chemistry there as well. So instead of taking time to lecture, we want you to go through all this material to review the fundamentals of chemistry so that we have the same language and we can talk about some of the same things, macromolecules and pH and things like that. And then early on, and you'll see this on the syllabus, early on in the semester, you're going to take a short quiz on this review material. So you might want to get started on reviewing as quickly as you can, especially if it's either been a while since you've had chemistry or you really struggle with it. Lab materials can be found under this module. You can see each of the 4 lab units. That's the full handout, both the instructions for the work you're going to do in lab as well as the lab reports. So you'll be turning in a total of 4 lab reports as a team. Be taking quizzes every week in lab as well. And then for some of them you need some additional handouts, and I'll point you to these handouts here on Canvas at the appropriate time. The one thing I'll mention now is that we don't have lab the first week, but starting next week when we jump into lab, you want to have this first one, Microbial Growth Lab Unit 1, downloaded and printed. You want to bring it in a hard copy. We're going to use it for 5 weeks in a row, and you're going to want to have it with you in hard copy because I don't allow your phones out or your laptops in the laboratory, and you're going to want to have that with you every single week. So just keep that in mind. Exam prep materials. These are going to be super, super helpful. We call these reading guides or study guides. The idea being that when we assign a chapter, let's say that the syllabus says chapter 5. Generally, we don't mean every single word of chapter 5. There are some figures that are more important than others. There are some sections of chapter 5 that we're just not going to worry about for our class, and you can skip those. So work your way through the reading guides as you do your reading and studying. The reading guides really are going to be your friend, and they really help you to hone in on what we expect you to pay attention to in each of the chapters. So what it says, Exam 1 Reading Guide, that's a reading guide for all the chapters leading up to Exam 2. And then Exam 2 Reading Guide is all the chapters, sorry I said it wrong, Exam 1 Reading Guide, all the chapters leading up to Exam 1, same for Exam 2. There will be an Exam 3 Reading Guide. We're just sort of tweaking it a little bit right now and making some adjustments, but we'll get that posted as well. And this immune system animation is something that I'll point you to towards the end of the semester that I think will be helpful as we learn adaptive immunity. So, really important. My suggestion is you download them and print them, and then stick it in your textbook. And every time you're opening the textbook and reading, you can use it as a checklist, essentially, for terminology that you need, sections you need, figures, tables that you need, as well as the ones that you don't have to worry about. If and when we have class handouts, they're going to be posted here in this module. you can find various lecture slides. So a chemistry review set of slides here. It's PowerPoint flattened into a PDF, and then all the different topics that we cover you can find slides for. These will look very similar to the slides that I use in class, though not identical, because I like to tweak things and improve things as we go along. But that'll be a nice study tool for you. So just remember that those lecture slides are there for you. Video lectures. Every now and then I'll create lectures on different topics that you guys need to learn and know a lot about. Even if I have a chance to talk about it in class, I may still create a video lecture and post that as a way for you to go back and review. But certainly if there's content that's really important and we're running short on time, I may create a video lecture for that as well. So for example, let's say you really need to know horizontal gene transfer and we just run out of time. You're going to need to go to that video and learn it well as if we'd been together. But you can see there are quite a few topics in here that you can go to for a variety of the subjects that we're going to cover throughout this semester. So go back to these video lectures frequently and use them to your advantage. Case studies. We're going to go through 3 case studies: urinary tract, respiratory tract, and a gastrointestinal tract case study during the semester, and I'll give you more instructions on what we're going to do with those when the time comes. Now they're going to be, as we go through the syllabus in another video, you're going to see that there are a variety of assignments. Most of what's found under assignments is really just sort of a placeholder for the grade book, except for homework. When you go to homework, this is where your weekly homeworks are found. It's not completely weekly. There's a total of 8 of them, and it's indicated on the syllabus which ones are due when. And you can see it here as well. So September 9th, beginning of class, homework number 1 is going to be due. When you do these, you can click on homework number 1. You can download the document, do all the work that needs to be done, and then re-upload it through Turnitin. Now, Turnitin is just a software that makes sure that you didn't copy and paste from anybody else in the class, so it compares your document to everybody else that submitted it, and it also actually screens it through the internet to make sure you didn't copy and paste anything from the internet. So just make sure that the words you're using are always your own words. Now, every now and then, in fact often, the homework assignments will include something that you have to do by hand, like a sketch or filling out a table. When that happens, what you're going to need to do is do that work separately. You can take a photo of it with your camera and upload it. You can embed it in that Word document. There are a variety of ways to digitize it, right? But if you have to do something by hand, make sure it gets digitized and attached to this document as it gets uploaded so that we can grade it properly. Now, I'll just warn you, if you do take a photo with your phone or whatever, make sure whatever we're looking at, we can actually see, right? Because if I can't see it and I can't make sense of it, I can't just give you the benefit of the doubt. You're not going to get credit for it. So make sure that it's actually legible and that I'm able to see that. And then I have a grader who's a graduate student actually in biology, and he's going to be grading these through SpeedGrader, which means once they're done, you'll be able to see all of his comments and all the grades, and I'll be keeping an eye on it to make sure quality control happens, right? But he's a brilliant dude. But he's going to be grading through SpeedGrader, so you'll see all his comments all electronically in here under your grades, actually. And you guys know where you can find your grades when the time comes. You'll pull up your grades. Now for me, it's everybody in the class, but for you, it'll just have your name and then each of the various places you can earn points. And then at the very end, I'm scrolling to the right here, you'll see your total and you'll also see a percentage. So at any given time in the semester, you can take a look here and see exactly where you stand. It's also a good idea just to double check that I entered grades right. Let's say on exam 1, you got 115 points out of 125, and you look on here and it says 105 points. Call me out on that. Make me go fix that. So just pay attention. Make sure the grades are getting entered properly and there's no mistakes. And that way you can keep up with your grades as well. So there you go. I hope that was helpful. I think you're going to find that this Canvas site is really useful. You're going to need to go to it frequently throughout the semester. And as always, let me know what questions you guys have. If you've not yet watched the syllabus video, that's the next one for you to watch. See you tomorrow.